There's so much to draw, then splash with some paint. It's doodling time with Pedro. What are we doodling up today? Hola amigos, this is Pedro, aka Texan Spaniard on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. Texan Spaniard Studios on Patreon, Coffee, and Etsy, and PedroBoyd@Bandcamp.com. And this week, we are doodling up. We're doodling up Batman. So I have to give credit. Bean gave me the idea. I was stumped in terms of what to do this week, and he suggested that I do the Batman, like for the new Batman movie. And so I was looking at pictures, and I wasn't too, I don't think the costume looks that great and stuff like that. But I was like, well, what if I took a classic Batman comic book cover and I kind of, I took the pose and then put the new suit, in it or whatever. So that was the attempt. That's the attempt here. So you saw me. I was quickly doodling the pose, and now I'm trying to fill in the new costume into the pose. And I believe it or not, I do have. I told y'all last week that there was this technique that Bean had told me about to try to deflect light, to try to cut down on the everything being washed out. So I actually am trying to do. I have that up this week. I forgot to put it up last week, but this week I did put it up. But yeah. So there's the little sketch, and now we're gonna get to filling this up. My brother Larry was always way into Batman. So I've read a lot of Batman, through the years, the comic books. Tons of great Batman stories, of course. I mean, so many classic, miniseries and graphic novels and this and that and storylines and stuff. The movies, some of them are better than others, of course. Something I was going for with this piece, I wanted to do kind of like the colors of the comic book, but over the new suit. So you know how in old comic books, if something was black, they would have the highlights be blue and stuff like that. So I was kind of going for that in this, as you'll see as this develops. Usually I would not approach things this way, where I fill in these outlines and stuff, but because there's so many details, I was like, well, if I don't, I'm going to get lost. And you see a big pause here. It's there's a hilarious story going on here. So I thought someone had pulled up in our driveway, and I went to look, and when I stepped away, I was like, well, I'll look really fast while this recording, it won't be that big a deal. And when I went to step away, I stepped into this container I have full of paint tubes and stuff, and the paint tubes went everywhere. They went flying all over the place, and then I almost fell over, and I stopped myself with the chair and all this kind of stuff. Because I went to look because I was waiting on this package to arrive. There's a reason I went to look, but anyways, that was that little pause there, was that whole thing going on. Here I start laying in the blues. You're learning the blues, man. Trying to give it that old comic book feel, but with the new costume. Yeah. I've had to draw Batman a few times through the years. Batman's cool, I guess, in terms of drawing. I guess it's all right. Am I excited about this movie? It doesn't look very good, to be honest with you. But who knows? It might. I mean, who knows? I'm a little put off. They said it's gonna be really long. I think the director said he's going for it being like really long. That kind of puts me off. As anyone who knows me well knows, I'm not crazy about really long movies. This is why, I've still not put in the time to watch that what's it called? The Zack Snyder version of the Justice League, because I'm like, I know everyone always tells me, you can watch it like a series. They've broken it up and stuff, but anyways, it's interesting to me that even after I've put up this big white foam board thing to try and deflect the light, the lighting is not fixed. It's just one of those things. It's gonna take some time to get a handle on that, but of course, I'll be honest, I don't know how many more of these I'll be able to do. I enjoy doing these, but it's going to get more complicated in the future because of stuff going on. When my dad is home, it's going to be more complicated to get stuff like this made, but I will attempt to still get stuff made because it's just how I am. But I will take this time as I fill in all this red to let y'all know that Friday, March the 4th, so Friday from next Friday, it's next Friday, it's a week from today, so March the 4th, there will not be an episode of Doodling Time with Pedro because we will have a music special. We're going to do a music special. Originally, I was going to save this music special for later in the month of March, but I kind of realized if I want to give it my undivided attention, I really should do it sooner because later I won't have as much time. My time will be, I'll be on call a lot, so be doing nursing duties. So so next week, no Doodling Time with Pedro, but what we will have, amigos, we will have the 90s Spring Cover Jam Part 2. So if you may recall, last year we had a 90s cover jam, a music special. But this year, we're having another one. We're having part 2, but this time it's louder. This one's gonna be loud. It's gonna be, you might remember Summer Jam in 2020, where you had like a full band sound and distortion, lots of noise. This one's gonna be like that. It'll have some acoustic stuff too, but it will, because it's the 90s, but it will. We will be covering some songs from the 90s and making some noise, making that rock and roll noise. Trying to add in some details and stuff here. At some point, I believe my camera is going to go out because it does go out in the middle of this. But we will get a final look at everything, don't worry. So when this goes out, we will still get a final look at everything. I wish I had moved. I didn't realize I was so kind of off screen with some of this. I should have pushed it a little further in. But what can you do? Them's the breaks. Doodling it up. But yeah, 90s cover jam coming next week.